Well, good morning, friends. It's Crazy Cheap Chick. It's dark and rainy here in Kansas today, but it's warm and dry in the kitchen. So let me take you inside. I'll show you what I got at the store. We'll talk a little bit of meal plan. I'll show you what I got at Goodwill. I found some great stuff this week. And then I've got some interesting information at the end, so make sure you stick around. This week I spent $69.73. I don't think that's too bad for just two people. And this is what I got. They had these potatoes on sale for $1.99, so you could buy up to 5. I bought 3 bags. That's a lot of potatoes, and I already have some potatoes. Some oatmeal for $3.99 because I was out. Got this turkey. It was on sale for $12.46. This wasn't the cheapest turkey they had. They had turkey for 77 cents a pound, but it was a full turkey, and that's just a lot for two people. This will take us forever just to eat this. Then I went ahead and got this smoked sausage. I think it was $3.99 on sale. And this rice vinegar was $2.79. They did have butter on sale again for $2.99, so I went ahead and topped off my butter supply. I got 4 of them. You could get up to 5. These little tomatoes were $3.99. And these cinnamon rolls were on sale. You could buy up to 5. They were $1.99. I also had a coupon, so actually one of them rang up for 99 cents. This cream was marked down to $3.04. It's good till December 31st, so I've got quite a while to use it. And I found this corn on the clearance rack. They're dented cans for 54 cents, 3 cans of corn. And these dill pickle chips were $1.75. I thought they looked pretty good. Bag of salad for $1.71. These pads for $2.96. And 2 little tiny Christmas cactuses marked down to $2. I got 2 of those. So that's what I got for $69. We're getting ready to go to Florida for a few days, so I didn't need a lot. But here's what I plan on having. Tonight I'm going to have roasted vegetables and sausage with some pasta. And then I'm probably going to cook this, well, I know I am. I'm going to cook this turkey breast, and we're going to have mashed potatoes and gravy, maybe some side of corn. And then since we'll have all this turkey, I'm sure we'll have turkey pot pie, and we'll probably have turkey and noodles. I mean, it's going to be a week of turkey, and that'll be plenty. I needed the cinnamon rolls because I'm having a girls' day. So all of the girls in my family are coming over, and we're going to do a little craft project. And so I told them I was going to supply cinnamon rolls and hot chocolate. And I'm sure they'll bring some treats too, but that's the plan. Usually for lunch, we eat leftovers. And sometimes I put a little side salad with it. So I went ahead and got that, though I still have lettuce. And I need to be using up all the vegetables I have in my refrigerator right now. Salad and soup. Well, here's an example of those little pizzas I make using a naan crust. This is just naan, which makes a really great crust. And I wanted to get rid of I had a little bit of this chicken breast left over, so it's just pizza sauce, cheese, olives, onion, and this chicken breast. I spent $36.12 at Goodwill today. That's about what I usually spend. So let me show you what I got. I got 2 of these hooded sweatshirts. They're so soft, and I really like them. They were $5.80 each, and they're Christopher Banks. One's gray, one's blue. Then I got a pair of jeans, and today red tags were half off, so half off of $8.77. These are some ruby red pants. And these dog training pads were $3.99. I'm actually going to put them under my cat's litter box. Then there was this set of disposable cups and lids. They were only $2.81. I got those. This watercolor half pan set was $4.99, never used, never opened. Got this little baby outfit. It's never been used either. And it still has its tags on it. Have no idea what it costs. It doesn't have a price on it. But I paid $1.99, and it's going to go in a baby gift, as is these diapers. I will put these in a baby gift as well. I paid $3.99 for these. And I think I paid about $2.40 for this big flag. Thought I might put it up in the spring somewhere outside. And then I stopped by the dollar store and got a bag for $1.25. I had been looking for a bag to put a baby gift in. I never could find one, so I had to break down and buy a paper bag. Well, friends, if you watched my last video, which was slightly more popular than most of my videos, I don't know why. Anyway, I discussed one of the reasons I think people overspend. And it kind of comes down to a sense of boredom or a general feeling of unhappiness. Sometimes we just want to go out and buy something to feel a little bit better for a short period of time. Now, I started thinking more about this, and I thought, what's one of the things that makes people very unhappy? Well, it's a general feeling of not having friends or not having enough friends. So in this video, I'm going to talk about that a little bit, and I'm going to give you tips for making friends. Because being lonely is very, very detrimental to your health. In fact, there have been studies that have shown that a feeling of loneliness is the health equivalent of smoking 15 cigarettes a day. How many friends do you want? There's actually been studies, and I think it's called Dunbar's number, that have proven that most people cannot handle more connections than about 150. I thought it would be much larger than that, but when you consider all your family, your friends, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, your co-workers, your neighbors, the people you interact with at your kids' school, 150 is about max for most people. Sometimes people feel like they just don't have very many friends, but in actuality, you're just not able to sustain large numbers of friendships. So if you've got 3 to 5, you are doing great. My best friend is John Wayne, and I have about 5 or 6 friends that are my go-to friends. And if you want to know who your go-to friends are, look at your phone. It's whoever you text or call the most. And I have these friends that I've known them a really long time, and I know if I needed something immediately, I could call them and say, I need you to come over right now, and they would drop everything and come over. It takes a lot of time to maintain a friendship, and most of us only socialize about 41 minutes a day. We spend more time watching TV than we do interacting with other people. I'm going to give you a tip on making friends. I read this in a study. They did a study of high school students. They wanted to figure out why some high school students are way more popular than other high school students. Now, everyone always has a theory. Oh, their parents have money. They dress really nice. They're super athletic. It's not what was making these students popular. Probably didn't hurt, though. What it was something called reciprocal liking. Now, I had never heard that term, but once they explained it in the study, I totally got what they were saying. There are certain people in life who are super friendly. And so I think of this kid I went to high school with. When he walked down the hallway, it was like, hey, Mike, you did great. You did great Friday night at the football game. Way to go. Hey, Kay, that's a great outfit. Where'd you get it? I love it. I love that color on you. Hey, Mr. Burns, I love that lecture you gave. I can't wait to hear the next one. And so reciprocal liking is when you indicate to other people that you like them, they are more likely to like you back. That's all it is. So if you are super friendly and you're always giving sincere compliments and positive feedback to other people, they're probably going to be really attracted to you. And that's what they found in the study. That is what was making these students so popular. And this kid that I went to school with, he was the student council president, but he was a perfect example of that. He had never in his life met someone he didn't like. And he showed it. He was friendly and outgoing to everyone in the school. It didn't matter how wealthy they were, how they dressed. he found something that he liked about every single person. He made you feel good about yourself. And so if you make other people feel good, they are going to want to be around you. If you make people feel bad because you're critical or judgmental or just kind of sour, then they're gonna not want to spend as much time around you. So make people feel good and they will want to be your friend. Basically, to have a friend, you have to put in the time. And most of us don't have a lot of time. Time is finite. And friendships take time. And I'm going to tell you from the bottom of my heart, small talk will never get you a best friend. You have to be willing to open yourself up a little bit and share in order to make a really good friend. You have to put in the time. In fact, there have been some studies, and the studies said it takes 94 hours to go from acquaintance to casual friends. It takes 164 hours to go from a casual friend to friend. And it takes 219 hours to go from friend to best friend or very good friend. So it takes a lot of time to build a friendship. And so if you're feeling like, oh, I don't have any friends, well, just realize you're going to have to be willing to put in some time to build those friendships. And always make sure that you allow other people to have their own opinion on things. Not everyone has to think the same. That's what makes life interesting, is that we all have different opinions and ideas and ways of doing things. That adds flavor to life. Now, every now and then you'll run across someone who they have a strong opinion about something. Blue is the best color. And if you don't agree and say, oh, I agree, blue is the best color, they will just keep talking to you and about why blue is the best color. Well, blue's the best color, because that's the color of the sky. Blue's the best color because it's the color of the ocean. Blue is the best color, and they'll go on and on and on until they think they have you convinced. Well, that is usually the result of someone being unsure of their own opinion. They're looking for someone else to validate them. And if you're not immediately agreeing with them, yeah, blue's the best color. If you're just sitting there and listening to them, but you're not joining in, it makes them very uncomfortable. It makes them question themselves. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe blue isn't the best color. They're not joining in. No, blue is the best color. I must convince them that blue is the best color. And so when you run across people like that, that's really, I think, what's going on, is they have some self-doubt. And so they're looking for someone to reassure them that their opinion is correct. And if you don't reassure them, they feel uncomfortable. Don't be that person. It's okay if someone likes pink or yellow. That's okay. You don't have to convince them. Maybe blue is the best color, but it's okay if they're wrong. You don't have to convince everyone to your side. Another thing is niceties matter. When you have a friend, if they're sick, send a card. If you're financially able, flowers are nice. At least send a text and let people know you are thinking of them. Little gifts matter. In a courtship, when you first start dating someone, they bring you little gifts, flowers, candy, stuffed animals. Why? Because they're trying to win you. Well, you're trying to win friends. If you're trying to win friends, it's a courtship. It's a courtship of a different kind, but it is a courtship. Now, another thing to make friends and keep friends is don't put too much pressure on people. Are you the kind of person that only calls when you need something? Hey, I know I haven't called you in 6 months, but I need bailed out of jail. Are you that kind of person? That's not a fun friend to have, let me tell you. So you have to keep in constant touch. And you can only play the hey, I need card rarely, because all of us are under pressure. Here's something really important to make and keep friends. You want friends who are adults, right? Well, I've made it to 61 years of age. I've managed to keep myself alive. I'm pretty financially stable. I've been married over 40 years. So, I'm doing okay. When people are upset about something or complaining about something, this is something men always have a hard time grasping with their wives. When someone is telling you a problem they have, they're not expecting or wanting you to jump in with a solution. What they are seeking is sympathy. They just want a listening ear. They want you to hate Susan that they work with, even though you've never met her, as much as they do. They don't want a solution on how to get along better with Susan at work. They just want someone to go, man, that must be rough. Oh, I'm so sorry you're going through that. So don't be quick with advice, because you're talking to other adults. They're making their own decisions. And so when you give a lot of advice to people, you're really treating them like children. And most people do not appreciate that. So don't give advice unless it's requested. Now, if one of your friends says, I've got this problem with Susan at work, she's always lying and she told my boss, what would you do? What would you do? Now, if they do that, if they specifically ask for advice, then you're free to offer a little bit of advice. But until they ask, keep it to yourself. This next one is probably the hardest one for me. I'm a bit of a yapper. You know what I'm talking about? An overtalker. Because when I get anxious or nervous or uncomfortable, I just start talking and I can't shut up. Even in my mind, I'm going, shut up. And I have a hard time doing it. So work on that. What I try to do is when I realize I'm doing that, I just stop myself and I look at the other person and I say, I know I'm talking too much. What do you think? Tell me what you think about this subject. Now, conversation should always be a two-way street. And so if you're talking too much, you probably need to work on that, because it kind of pushes people away. They want to be able to express their own thoughts as well. And especially if you're not talking about anything significant, it's just train of thought thinking, that can irritate people. I know from experience. At least that's what my kids say. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Want friends? Your house does not need to be perfect to have friends over. If someone comes over and they're offended because there's a little dog hair on the couch, you don't need them as a friend. If your friend comes over and they're turning up their nose because there's a pile of unfolded laundry on the kitchen table, you don't need that person as a friend. Don't worry about it. If someone comes over and they see dog hair on the couch and unfolded clothes, they're going like this, oh, thank goodness they're like me. No one likes perfection, really. It makes them uncomfortable. And if you just can't help it, you just can't stand to have people in your house unless it's absolutely perfect, you can still have friends. Just invite them out to lunch or dinner. Hey, let's go grab a cup of coffee. Hey, let's go to a movie. Hey, I saw there's a play coming to town. You want to go to the play with me? Let's get a drink after work. See, you don't necessarily have to have people over to your house even. You just have to put yourself out there and invite people. Now, here's my final piece of advice, and I'm not a therapist or a doctor or anything like that. I'm just someone with a lot of experience because I've lived a long time. Since it is so hard to make friends, if you feel like you don't have enough friends and you really want some friends, think about people you used to be friends with. Oh, Sarah, man, we used to be such good friends. Why did we lose touch? Oh, I think we just got busy. And call up Sarah. Hey, Sarah, I was thinking about you. How have you been doing? You want to go grab a cup of coffee and catch up? Since it takes so many hours to make a friend, don't lose them once you have them. And that takes effort. It means keeping in touch in some manner. A lot of times people make friends in what is essentially a closed system. And what I mean by that is like a school or a workplace. You didn't get to pick the people who are going to be at your school or who you work with, but you make friends with them. Once you leave that closed system, oftentimes you lose those friends unless you put a lot of effort into keeping in touch. So if that person is important to you, make sure that you stay in touch through text or phone calls or some manner, email, anything. And it doesn't have to be daily. It doesn't even have to be weekly. It might not even need to be monthly, but it's got to be regular enough that you're keeping up on the major events going on in each other's lives. I have some friends that I only see maybe once or twice a year, but I consider them really good friends. So it can be done. Sometimes at the end of my videos, I like to tell you a funny story, because if you've stuck it out through all the other stuff that's kind of boring, then I feel like you should at least get a laugh at the end. So this happened this morning. Last night we had pizza, and there was one pizza that didn't get eaten, and I had given it to our dog Sparky. I put it in her bowl, and that dog has the ability to pick things off food that she doesn't like. And so this morning I go in, and in her dish, there's 3 shriveled up olives, because she ate everything but these like 3 olives. And they were all dried out. And so I took them out of her bowl, and John Wayne was standing in front of the drawer where we keep the trash. And so I put them on the counter in front of him, just waiting. I just put them there because I was waiting for him to move so I could open up the drawer and throw away the olives. And he reaches down to pick them up and eat them. And I'm like, whoa, 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 what are you doing? What are you doing? And he's like, well, I'm getting ready to take the vitamins you got out for me. I'm like, those aren't vitamins. Those are olives the dog picked off the pizza from last night. And he's like, oh, they look like vitamins. I've never fed the man a black vitamin in my life. So I don't know why you thought they were vitamins. They were not. They were spit out olives from the dog. But I got it stopped, so there was no harm done. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great week. I hope you go out there and make some friends. I hope you find some bargains. And John Wayne and I are getting ready to leave for Florida soon in a few days. And I'm not going to be buying a lot of groceries, but I'm always running behind. I cannot seem to keep up with my videos. And so maybe I'll post one while I'm in Florida. I don't know. We'll see. Now let's all go out there and have a great 2025. Here is your multivitamin.
Thank you. Now you can see where I got mixed up.
Let me see. No, that looks nothing like a dried out olive.
From a distance without my glasses. Yes, it does.